Hey everybody, coming back with another video. Today's video is all about rotor tillers. If you're a new gardener, somebody that's gonna maybe want to put in a bigger garden, you've never had a tiller before, or you just want to learn a little bit more about a rotor tiller before you go and buy one. This video is for you. We're going to answer a lot of questions. The different kinds of rotor tillers, cost of rotor tillers, pros and cons of different kinds of rotor tillers. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a couple pieces of advice that really might help you out. So just stay there at the end, and hopefully we're going to give you some good information today. So sit back and relax, and we're going to get right into it. Okay, there's really just two main types of rotor tillers. You have a front tine tiller and a rear tine tiller. They do make cultivators, which they're really not a rotor tiller. And then they have a pull behind rotor tiller. Now, if you're a new gardener and you went out and you've spent that much money, there are thousands of dollars on a pull behind rotor tiller, you have my respect. You are jumping into it with both feet. But I think a front tine and a rear tine are really what we're going to look at today. So, what are some of the advantages of a front tine tiller? It costs less. Okay, typically a front tine tiller, this is general, but between $400 and say $700. That's what you're going to pay. They're lightweight. Now they are more maneuverable if you're going around plants and things like that. But they're also a little bit harder to work, to manage, to run. That is the disadvantage. On a front tine tiller, the tines, the motor connects directly to the tines. So as you're using it, you're kind of getting pulled along. Like I say, it steers a little better, but it's just a little bit harder to run. The wheels on a front tine tiller don't actually, they just help guide it, There's not a reverse on a front tine tiller. Now, I'm going to say this. I've never owned a front tine tiller. I've talked to a lot of people that have. I've done a little bit of research on them. I don't want to mislead anybody. Everything I'm going to tell you about a front tine tiller, I believe, is factual. But please, do your own research. Again, a front tine tiller for me is really not what I need. Okay? The other kind is a rear tine tiller. And that's the kind we have right here. Some of the advantages to it are it tills a lot deeper than a front tine tiller. With a front tine tiller, you actually have to pick up on the handle to get the blades to go down into the ground. Okay, with this, the blades are in the back, and depending on what kind of things you get on your tiller, it does a really, really good job on tilling up hard pan, clay soil, things like that. So, for me, a rear tine tiller is the way to go. Another advantage of it is you're going to get a lot more features on a rear tine tiller. Like I say, reverse. I'm going to show you some of the features on this, some of them that I like, and some of them that I just have to have on a tiller. So you get more stuff on a rear tine tiller. If you're going to do, a lot of tilling, kind of like I do, I haven't tilled my garden in 4 years. So if you're starting out with a new plot, your chances are you're going to want to at least look at a rear tine tiller. Okay? So what are some of the disadvantages to a rear tine tiller? They're expensive. This particular model here, runs around $1,000. Okay, it's went up since I bought this one. You can pay somewhere between $800 and $1,200 for a rear tine tiller. They're heavier. They're kind of harder to move around. They're bigger. If you're kind of limited on storage space, might be something to consider, but a rear tine tiller is just bigger. It's going to take up more room, okay? And it's not as maneuverable. Like I say, for my situation, I'm not worried about that because I've got basically a big rectangle and it's straight, so that doesn't concern me. But it might you, so it's just something to think about. So we're going to look at this tiller here, and I am not promoting any product. I am not trying to tell you what to buy. I'm not trying to tell you how to spend your money. I'm just trying to help maybe get a little more informed decision. So let me come around. We'll start back here. This feature here is something that I like, but it wouldn't keep me from buying it or not buying it. And what it is, if you come over here, okay, you've got this handle and you can loosen it up and pan back, and that's going to lower and raise that handle. So depending on how tall you are, like I say, it's a nice little feature. It's nothing that would keep me from buying it or not buying it. This down here, now this goes to 7 inches. I know they make them that go deeper. Okay, this works good for me. It's got your transport position, which really, I don't think that's a big thing. All it really is doing is this bar right here. It just lowers it and raises it. So if you have it in transport and something would happen, the tines aren't going to dig into the ground. Now, this is really easy to adjust. One thing I really don't like about this is this cotter key right here. For whatever reason, I've never changed it out, and I hate it. It's hard to get off, and it's hard to get on. I probably eventually will change this out, but that is one thing. Again, it's nothing that's going to keep me from buying it or not buying it, but it's just not a good design, okay? Now, up here, there's a couple things. Reverse. You are going to want reverse. If you're going to get a rear tine tiller, get one with reverse. Sooner or later, when you're tilling your garden, you're going to want to back up. Okay, that's just how it is. Moving it around in the garage, things like that. I have a neutral, and I can move this really easy in neutral. Okay, so all I got to do, one-handed, I can pick it up and move it. Okay, so it's really easy to move in neutral. But reverse, I would not own a tiller without reverse. Okay, this right here, forward wheels, all that is you can drive this, you can start it, and like I say, the engine right here connects to the wheels. So it's independent from your tines. So you can actually drive this without your tines turning. Again, it's a nice feature, but not anything that's, I would think, is a make or break on deciding what kind of tiller to get. Now these two here, this is the big ones. You got reverse tine and forward tine. Reverse tine, that's what gives you that action, that digging action, where you can get down and really dig deep. If you've got hard packed soil, clay soil, things like that, you are definitely going to want that right there. Forward tine would be more if you've already got it tilled up, say you've planted your garden, and you just want to go between the rows and knock some weeds down. That is really what that's for. If you have loose soil, it would probably till all right, but you really want that reverse, you know. It's a great feature. Now, one of the things that I just do not like about this tiller, one of the things you might want to look at, the gear shift. It's just really stiff. And sometimes it kind of gets hard to get it into the gear you want. I wish that would work better. That is probably the thing that I like the least about this tiller. Maintenance on these, it's pretty straightforward. Keep your oil changed. I change mine once a year, and this is going to be different for different models. But down here, this plug, that is where the oil is going to come out. Okay, so that's where you're going to drain your oil. Obviously, this is where you're going to put your oil in. The only other thing that I really do, you got your air filter. Now this is just basically just a cover. You can take that, take soap, water, and just, you know, wash it up. It's good to go. Let it dry out. Now, here's your air filter. And this one, it's pretty new. It's pretty clean. What I do is if it gets dirt, dust, and stuff in it, which it's going to, I'll just flip it around. I got an air compressor, and I just blow in there, and it'll blow all of it out on the outside. It just kind of keeps your air filter where you don't have to buy one as often. It's really important to keep your air filter clean. Your engine will work harder. It's going to hurt, you know, the life of the motor. So you always want to keep that clean. Okay. Other than that, it's really, you know, it's really kind of up to you how big you want. This is a 20-inch, and it does pretty good. I'm going to set you back up here. The first thing you really want to do is look at the size of your garden. Look at what kind of soil you have. That's going to help you decide. Like I say, I'm big on rear tine. I've never really talked to anybody that was happy about using a front tine tiller. They will save you a little bit of money, but again, I want gardening to be fun. I don't want it to turn into work. I don't want to have to fight to do this. So this is going to be your single largest one-time purchase for your garden, other than the cost of the land. You know, keep that in mind, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple pieces of advice. And one of them is, don't look at what your garden is today. Look at what you might have 5 years from now. Really stop and think about it. Like I say, you can save $200 or $300, maybe a little more, but if you buy something and you're not happy with it, you didn't save any money. I did this. I bought, and it was a rear tine tiller. It was a smaller one. I had a smaller garden then. It worked really good. It didn't have reverse. There were things about it. I couldn't push it. The wheels wouldn't free spin. It was a pain to move. It was just, I bought it because it was cheaper. Okay? So my advice to you is, I'm not trying to tell you how to spend your money, but please stop and look. This is an investment. This is a lot of money. I paid about $900 for this one. That's a lot of money, but it was money well spent. The other piece of advice is, think about where you're going to buy it. If you go to a big box store, and I'm not bad-mouthing big box stores, they've got several different brands. The problem is, when you take it home and you take it out of the box, there's going to be a piece of paper that says, if you have a problem, call this number. That is not customer service. What are you going to do? If this thing breaks, what happens next? I bought this one from a local mower shop here in town. I've dealt with them for a long time. If something happens to this, I have somebody I can go and look at and talk to. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind when you are, like I say, this is a big purchase. You know, you just don't skimp. That's my best advice. You know, get what you want. Don't buy more than one like I had to. I ended up spending more money trying to save a few bucks. So just get what you want. And that's my best advice. So we're a couple weeks away from planting potatoes. It turned off cold here and rainy and nasty, but it's going to turn around and we're going to get some potatoes in. I'm just really excited about it, and so hopefully I'm going to make a few videos on that and a few on other things. So I appreciate you guys watching, and you know, I just can't wait. So you guys, thank you, and you have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.